Hello everyone, it's Cam from Arsenal Theory with a quick breakdown review of the massive game yesterday. Arsenal 5, Barcelona 3. I didn't stay up for it. I considered it, and then I realised that I would have been absolutely useless for the rest of the day in terms of work and doing stuff at home and walking the dog. So I left that out. Respect to anyone who did stay up because that game actually got delayed. So it didn't even kick off until gone like 4 a.m. But the main thing was waking up in the morning, seeing the result. Fantastic news. Arsenal 5, Barcelona 3. Bit disappointing to let 3 goals in, but we'll come on to that. And I've watched the highlights of the game and read a lot of the reports, and it sounds and looks like we were kind of back to business, really. Apparently, Gabby Jesus seemed like he was back to his old self. Mikel kind of mentioned that he hadn't looked that sharp since before his injury during the World Cup. So that's something to be, excited for the coming season. Um, we went 1-0 down, so it was always good to show a bit of spirit and come back. We seem to be getting punished for every single mistake that the back line is making at the moment, which is very annoying. So hopefully we're just getting all of those kind of cobwebs done and dusted before the main season actually starts. But it was good that we responded in the right way. Saka equalising with a nice kind of shot with his right foot. Looks very dangerous whenever he got the ball. Unfortunately, he missed a penalty though, pulled it wide, which is not great. I don't know if this is a thing now with him where we have to start kind of questioning, do we keep him on pens or not? I'm really not sure. I'm not particularly confident with him taking the penalties. And when you look at who else is available starting to take them, you've got Jesus or you've got Odegaard, and I think it's hard to make a case that Saka's going to be more reliable than either of those two on penalty taking duties. But the manager will have to decide what he wants to do with that. But that's two that if he missed one against West Ham and he missed it yesterday as well. Each time I didn't even get on target either. But anyway, in terms of the result, didn't really have an effect on things. So I suppose that's a bonus in itself. Kai Havertz making me eat my own words. Getting on the score sheet again. A nice little. I wouldn't quite call it a tap in, but it wasn't really too much more than that. It was like 2 yards out and a header from Odegaard, and he's just kind of like knocked it in. It was good movement from him, to be fair. Before Odegaard plays the ball towards the goal, he kind of runs off the back of the defender and creates just a little bit of space. So it's good anticipation to see where the ball was going to be. And he popped it in, so that's always good for his confidence as well. And it was nice to see Smith Rowe come on at half time and get some more minutes under his belt. I think the man of the match has to go to Trossard. Looked very, very dangerous. Scored 2 beautiful goals, 2 really, really good finishes. And I hope people aren't sleeping on him because, the man's just an output machine. He's so efficient. He's just so efficient. And he very rarely misses. And he always makes a positive contribution. And he's making it really hard to drop him. And, I don't know who can claim to say that they deserve to start ahead of him. Really, Arteta's got a bit of a headache, and if Martinelli is just 5 or 10% below his best, then Trossard's definitely going to start. And these are great options to have. As you get deeper into the season, it becomes less of an issue, I think, because players just naturally need rotating. But at the beginning of the season, I think some people are going to be having to get used to the bench that maybe weren't necessarily expecting it. So it was great to see Trossard get a couple of goals in. And then Fabio Vieira with a lovely strike from the edge of the area, about 25 yards out. And goalie had no chance with it. And a nice move and left foot, bang, would have boosted his confidence after this terrible penalty the other day. So it was nice to see him back on the score sheet. Mikel made some comments about Smith Rowe as well, where he said that he's come back from the Euros and just looks really fit and really, really up for it. And looks a lot sharper than he has been, and he's been working really, really hard, which is music to my ears. That, and I think you can tell it because, firstly, Arteta's talking about the player. I mean, he wasn't even talking about him last season, just being very, very quiet on what Smith Rowe was doing and what he was up to. So he's being more vocal about him, which is great news. And he's getting more minutes now. I mean, he wasn't getting a look in anywhere last season, even in dead rubber games where we were like winning and the game was done. He was not being brought on to kill 10 minutes at the end. Whereas he got 20 minutes against Man United, and obviously he got I think a half yesterday as well. Nearly scored. He had a nice round to a nice cutback from Saka, and the goalie made a decent save, but it would have been nice to have seen him get on the score sheet. So maybe next time. So talking of next time, we've got Monaco in just under a week, back at home. So it'll be nice for the boys to get back into the UK time zone. I don't know what playing over there is going to do to their bodies. I mean, I know they're athletes and they'll have like first class planes and access to all the best um, fitness apps and everything to help them get back into the normal routine. But for the likes of me and you, it's just messes with your body clock, really, doesn't it? So they've got a week to get back into the swing of things. Shame didn't get to see Balogun get any minutes at all. Apparently, he's got a bit of an injury. Is it an injury or is it an injury? We don't really know. Apparently, Inter Milan have been kind of sniffing around him, and if they're going to sell their Lukaku, then he's going to need. Well, say sell him. They don't actually own him. Chelsea own him, but if they're not going to bring him back, then he's going to need replacing. So maybe there's something going on there. And there's also been rumours about Palace making a move for Nketiah as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Or maybe genuinely he has actually just got a foot injury and just couldn't really train. I mean, Zinchenko trained away from the rest of the squad as well. He hasn't played. Well, I don't think he's had any minutes by the sounds of things. Possibly some against the MLS All Stars, but he's not had a lot, which is again disappointing. I mean, his season hasn't even already started, and he's already having muscular issues. So what can we do? I mean, Timber came in and played at left back. From what I saw, I've seen some comps. He looked fairly tidy as well. So maybe that's an issue. I mean, when we bought him, people were talking about kind of centre back, right back, and then he's played against Barcelona at left back. So maybe he's even more kind of versatile than we thought, which can only be a good thing, I suppose, really. So great result. Nice to finally get a win. We did beat the MLS All Stars, but they're not a proper team, are they? I mean, they've just kind of put together different players from different MLS teams to make an opposition. So it was good to get one over on Barcelona. The manager was a bit salty after the game, making some comments about we were taking it too seriously. We took it like a Champions League game, and what does he expect? There's 80,000 fans there. And to be fair to Arsenal, Barcelona were coming out with some horrific challenges. I mean, Arhau, really took out Jesus in the first couple of minutes of the game, so can't really complain too much. On a separate note, I saw as well that Man United got beat 2-0 by Real Madrid. It was a debut of their goalie, so that's not great. He got chipped by Bellingham and there was an overhead kick. I'm not saying he could have done anything about either of the goals or anything, so I'm not trying to troll anyone here, but still not an ideal start. But Jude Bellingham got his first goal for Real Madrid, so that'd be nice for him. But Martinez, though, a real bad challenge on Bellingham, and they kind of squared up. I don't know what's going through his head at the moment. It'd be interesting to see how he gets on in the Champions League, because I don't know how many. I don't know how lenient the refs are going to be with tackles like that. And he doesn't want to. What you don't want to do is get a reputation. So we'll see what happens when the season starts in the Premier League. Are the refs going to be keeping an eye out for him, or are they going to kind of do the typical Man United thing where they let them have 3 or 4 real bad challenges before they bring a yellow card out? Scott McTominay, for example, primed for that. In fact, he'll be in for a shock if he goes to West Ham, because if he goes to West Ham, he's not going to have the protection of making 3 or 4 terrible tackles before getting booked. He'll be getting booked on the first or second one. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But not a great result for United. But nice to see Arsenal kind of getting back to what we saw at the beginning of last season. Really, we really came out of the blocks fast, and hopefully we'll be able to start that way again. Fingers crossed. So just a short one today. I'm going to be coming back with another video soon, talking about some of the outs that need to happen at Arsenal. There's a few players hanging around that don't really need to be hanging around. And Mikel made a comment talking about we've got like a squad of 30 players and it's just too big. So there's several players that really need to make a move on, but I suspect it's all, if it does happen, these players do leave, I have a feeling it's all going to happen pretty much on the last day of the transfer window. I don't think stuff's going to happen fairly soon. I think clubs are going to wait, but I'm going to do a separate video about that. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.